What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Y for Turbo. It's been a long time coming, and GMY Guy has got a lot of work to do. Thank you guys for coming back, checking out this series. If you're watching this way in the future, thank you as well. Check out my new videos, because I'm sure there'll be new ones. We've got a lot to update with. In the coming week, I'll probably put up more of an update video. This is not going to be an update video. We're getting right back in to the GM action. Now, I know I stopped right in the middle of a Toronto GM that will be finalized before NHL 18 comes out. I am planning some things for that. That'll be in the update, so don't worry. I'll be down in the comments. Please ask me any questions you have, but let's get right into this. Now, I know a lot of GMs did the Avalanche this year and after the season ended because of their horrible, absolutely horrible play. I don't blame them 100%. They, strangely, I thought they would do a lot better with the amount of talent they have. The Colorado Avalanche are just like this team that is a mystery to me. Why are they failing? Is it their leadership? Is it because they lost their, all-star coach? There's a lot of different factors. They've drafted pretty well. They've gotten some good picks to get back to this point, but there's just this like looming feeling in the air that the new sets they're going with is just not working. So what I wanted to kind of do was get your opinion first. A lot of other YouTubers have done the Avalanche because of how they did this season. And I've tried not to watch a ton of them. I watched Johnny Supermans because I'm a big fan of his. You guys can always compare me to him. It's because I watch him. And, I watched a little bit of his. He went for this weird way that I probably wouldn't have gone about it. So that's not really how I'm going to go with it. That mid kind of, I think he called it a halfway rebuild. I either want to go with what we've got right now or rebuild. You know what I mean? So that's the options. I want to either sell the farm, maybe keeping McKinnon. That's probably a good idea. I'm pretty sure he kept a good. He kept the core. I don't know. It doesn't matter what he did. Let's figure it out. Let's try it with this new thing. Now, there's been a lot of changes since a lot of these GMs went up last season. I'm sure a lot of new GMs have started in the summer since free agency, things like that. But the players who went to Las Vegas, I was having trouble with figuring out where they would go because you can't actually make a 31st team. You can do an expansion where you go off somewhere else as one of the existing teams, but I couldn't make an additional team that just pops up. You have to sub out another team. If you guys know any other way to do it, let me know. But all the tutorials and everything I looked up were just oh yeah, just sub out a current team and you can put the players on. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep the full thing, So I just basically what I did is if you check out the free agents, I dropped everybody to free agency. So it's absolute free reign. Now this isn't as realistic. You can see Jágr's still up there. Man, is he going to get a deal? I hope by the time this is posted that this is old news, that he's gotten signed. He has not chosen to retire. The dude has 5 years left in him, I swear. He's going to be Gordie Howe. He's going to keep going. Like him or not, that is admirable. And I've heard tons of stories on both spectrums of liking Jágr, hating Jágr. The dude is a beast, 44 years old in this, which is the beginning of last year. He's going to be 45 outplaying 20-year-olds. It's insane. Just got a ton of skills. I think honestly, if we're going for playoffs, I think we should sign him. For $5 million, I don't know. He'll retire after this year, so it's a 1-year thing. The game just makes him retire, which is stupid. I wish you could just. I tried to put him in our last GM to franchise potential. He retired in the first year, so didn't work. You can make him 99 overall. He'll still somehow retire. It's insane. But as you can see, Perron, Merrill, all these guys, some of these guys, have gotten picked up, like Mathot got picked up, or traded rather, things of that nature. I decided instead of just figuring out all the different picks and where they went, drop everybody they picked just to free agency, let it be free reign after that. I think it'll be cool. It'll change the league a little bit. Like I said, not super realistic. Throw me a bone. We're in the off season. It's one of those things. So obviously, you guys can see in goalies, once it loads, we'll have Fleury, Picard, so we're looking like there's some free agents we could possibly sign. So, it's one of those things. The whole league is going to have, their hands in the pot. So be that as it may, if it's good or bad to you, it's just the easiest solution. I think probably the most fun solution. The league's going to change a lot. It's not just going to be all these guys going to one team making up like a B-list team. It's going to be all these guys just up for grabs, which I think is actually kind of a cool idea. I wish I would have maybe thrown in some other weird players and things like that. On the flip side, because this is starting at a new year, I can't pop in a lot of the really good prospects. We're going to have to go up to the draft and like redraft. So does this change? Does Nolan Patrick not go, second overall to the Flyers? Does he go first? In this game, probably. This is the latest roster update and my own personal roster update that I did in the last, week or so here. So, some things are changed. I changed some people's stats. Everything's not crazy different. Don't expect that. But if you see something and it just absolutely is bugging the hell out of you, let me know in the comments, because that's probably the best way to just, make me aware of it. If you see some, I don't even know, like Emelin, you're like, what? He should not be 85, that kind of a thing. I mean, I'm not super versed in Emelin. We had him for a little bit on the Canadiens, but, that's just somebody I'm just shouting out randomly. But that was my solution to the Las Vegas problem that will be solved in NHL 18, but was not solved in this one. That's fine. I think we're totally good. I think that it's an okay solution, and it'll be really fun. I feel like. But let's look at the rosters real quick. I know that a lot of players will, YouTubers will just go right into the first year. Me taking such a big break from YouTube and then coming back, I want to have your guys' input right away. But I just want to keep hammering these out as soon as possible. So you kind of know this. We're going to put McKinnon there. Duchene can kind of come down here, even though he's a first liner. I was thinking either we could do that or we could make him like a winger. I don't know. I like the idea of keeping Yakupov. Young right wing sniper. He can really help out. Probably on the second line. That's why I'm thinking maybe Duchene on the first. If we're gunning for an actual playoff spot, I think it would be wise to bring in a couple other players through trades, possibly, and maybe Duchene can open that up. But if we're doing a full rebuild, I don't mind getting rid of every single. I know Landy is our captain, but I don't mind getting rid of everybody here. Maybe keep like Yakupov. That would be a decent person to keep just on the NHL roster. He'll grow. He can play first line minutes, that kind of thing. Grigorenko should go, but I think everyone below like the age of 22 should just leave, and then we get a couple veterans on 1-year contracts. Let these guys grow, get some things. Get like a top 10 pick and go from there. And then year 2 is like, okay, well, let's try to make the playoffs. We got a ton of cap available. We got this, that, the other thing, whatever. Varlamov, what kind of, 3 years, 5.7. I think we should definitely try to trade Varlamov. That's a really annoying salary cap hit for his overall rating, I guess. And he is actually pretty good in this game when you use him in like Hut and stuff like that. At least when I've played against him, he's really difficult to score on. I don't know if that goes through the actual GM mode, like just simulating, but his stats look pretty good. I think he just falls off in the puck control category, actually. Just rebound control is good, recovers good in that. Everything else is mid-80s. It looks like everything that kind of matters is decently high, except his glove and stick. We can always go over that. We got Bernier. All these moves that kind of happened, free agency, trades, everything like that. This has all been updated by both the game and myself in my roster update. Like I said, if you see something, I'm only one person. I I definitely could have missed something. I went over it a couple times. I know there's some smaller like role players that are going to be out of place. You know, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. And NHL 18 comes around, we'll definitely go super hardcore with the realism. I don't mind doing that at all, but it's the off season, you know, we can play around with this. I was even playing around with the idea of doing like a fantasy GM. There's a lot of cool ideas that I want to discuss in this upcoming little update video, but for now I just wanted to showcase the whole thing. So just go through our first line. It's showing, you know, McKinnon, Landy, and Yakupov. Grigorenko is a nice future sniper. Definitely, you know, probably second liner. I kind of see him being something along the. I mean, he's got decent defensive awareness for where he's at, so he might be a decent two-way player. 82 at, you know, 22 years old as a sniper is pretty good, considering. Man, who was it? Somebody had like 74, and they were a sniper, and they were actually okay in real life. Was it like Gustav Nyquist? Somebody was like really low. And in real life, they were decent, but I guess Gustav Nyquist isn't the best on defense, but he can kind of. I just watched the Wings, guys. You guys know I'm a Wings fan, I guess, or if you knew, you don't. I'm a Wings fan, but I live in, you know, the Chicago area, and it's terrible. But it was cool because the draft was here. I didn't go; it was just down the street from my house, though. Okay, yeah, I didn't get done here. Duchene, obviously, a little older than that 22 or 23 cutoff I was thinking, but, you know, a great player, really good player. But I've heard he doesn't simulate very well, but, you know, what can be said for that? Really good offensive awareness, things like that. If we can get him in with a nice sniper, you know, that might be an idea, and that's where maybe Grigorenko or Yakupov could come in. But, you know, if we're just going to rebuild, you know, why not just cut him, get a first rounder, or maybe like a prospect. You know, I'm not a great drafter in this game, so I think it would actually be really cool to just snag up some really nice prospects that are already like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be top 6, and you can get a 3rd round pick for him, you know, or, you know, that would probably be way less than what Duchene is, because he's an elite player. Getting somebody like, I don't know, even like an elite defenseman or something for him would be a nice little trade, and like a mid-round pick or early-ish rounds pick. That might be. Joel Colborne, yeah, 26, power forward. I can see this guy doing some work on like the 3rd or 4th line, definitely. You know, definitely trade bait though at this point, while still having potential. I'm talking about making these trades right away, by the way. This is going to be like our Edmonton GM. Everybody's going the 1st or 2nd episode, you know what I mean? I was thinking of even doing that goalie trade right away with Varlamov, but who knows? Rantanen, an elite prospect, definitely keeping him up here at 19 years old, already 82 overall. This is a key rebuild piece as a sniper. Definitely one of the future, definitely top 6. I would say if we had our way, he could be the left winger for McKinnon, with a elite playmaker with an elite sniper next to him. And then, you know, maybe put maybe another playmaker or a two-way guy over here. Like, it'd be really cool. Who's like a really good two-way? Even like somebody like David Perron, like at right wing or something. Like something weird like that. That's like mid 80s to, what is David Perron, like 86 overall? Somebody like 86 or above, and then have like 290s. I think that would be a great line. You know, something like that would be really cool. And that's not super unrealistic. It's not getting like, oh, I want to put Crosby up here too, you know. We already have McKinnon. I really like McKinnon's play. I like watching him. I like watching interviews with him. There was that whole documentary on him going up to Cole Harbor with Sidney Crosby. And I'm not the biggest Crosby fan. I used to absolutely detest him. But, you know, man, the amount of cups they're winning over there, that is crazy. You have to respect a game. And I know I have a lot of people who watch my videos that are big Crosby fans. Total props, you know. My Wings aren't even in it right now, so total props. But yeah, 3rd line, Soderberg, definitely expendable, already 30 years old. Not even that great defensive awareness for a two-way guy. You know, good checking guy, good stick checking's good. What else is pretty good? I mean, everything's like average, which is fine. That's totally fine. Definitely a good center, you know. good third line center. Honestly, he reminds me of something like Helm. To bring it back to the Wings again. Not as fast, but he'll win you faceoffs in the dirty areas. He'll get some nice defensive plays with his stick checking. What's his? I didn't mean to hit A. What's his discipline? Discipline's okay. So, with all that stick checking, that high skill, maybe that'll save him from getting some penalties. But this third line, I feel like, will take some penalties. Como, totally expendable. Not even really a good trade asset. He looks so upset that I just said that, but that's cool. It's whatever. Yeah, totally expendable. This guy's a journeyman, though. He's been on 1,000,001 teams. So, no problem. They got him here because they need him. They need to fill out some lines. Nieto, I remember when this guy was the next big thing. Man, he had some good plays, and then just kind of became a role player. It happens. He's only 23. He could definitely rise up. I don't mind keeping him, but because we're gonna need you're gonna need two sides of the coin. You don't just need elite snipers. So, he's on the cusp. Being a two-way guy with only 82 defensive awareness. I mean, we have a sniper that's 22 that is 82 defensive awareness. So that'd be nice to maybe put him on the PK, get him some work in. We're losing games, but maybe he's not getting the minuses for the goals going in. He's getting some more rounds on the defensive side. That could help. I'm not 100% sure how the whole algorithm works. 1 year left, super cheap. That's what I'm saying. He's a depth player. He can definitely be there. John Mitchell, nice on faceoffs, I know for sure. Good two-way guy in the sense that he's just a fourth liner. Body checking's average, shots average, things like that. He might steal a couple goals throughout the season. I wouldn't put him over 5 goals or something like that, but probably, maybe put on the penalty kill or something, but he's totally expendable to me, already at 31 years old. We can definitely bundle him with somebody else to just put the trade over the edge, maybe. And then Rene Bourque here, 34, totally expendable. I don't really see any pluses to keeping him other than maybe some leadership, but he is like fourth line forward in his role, so he wouldn't really like getting put down to the AHL too much. John Mitchell and Nieto are both depth guys, so we could send them down. But yeah, that's the NHL team offense. We got Johnson and Barry, both really good players. They actually went up from what they were in my old roster update, which is awesome. That's cool to see. Barry is definitely the future, of this team, but he doesn't really fit in with that rebuild rule at like 25 already. In 3 to 5 years, when we're like got our prospects, we're ready to go on a playoff run, he's going to be 30 already. Yeah, he'll probably still be like 88 or 89. If he goes up to 90, that'd be amazing. And could carry that team in, but do we want to wait for that, or do we want to try to expedite the rebuild, maybe get a couple more guys? That's up to you. I like his style of play, and being able to, he'll probably pop in a good amount of assists with that passing stat and be the shutdown defenseman that you always want in one of the top 2 roles. So I really like him. I've liked him in a lot of different GM modes. I think we got him in a couple in the past. So really cool. We always trade for him, why not? But who knows? If we're doing the rebuild, I'm committed. I'll get rid of him. It's fine. Johnson, he's the leader on the team. Awesome defensive awareness, two-way guy. Great partner to Barry. We're shooting and, we're passing. Definitely not as centered around the offensive side. Body checking's awesome, though. Defense, just a little worse than Barry at this point in overall skill. But the thing is, they're also both right-handed. I don't know how we all feel about the chemistry and things there, but they're great partners. If we were a playoff team, this would be a solid line in the top 4, if not the top 2, just solidified. But it's up to you guys. Whatever we want to do, we'll do it. Boschman, journeyman, you guys know him. Been in the league forever. Teuton, also journeyman defenseman. There's a lot of former Columbus Blue Jackets on this team, I've noticed. But these guys are old. You know, we got to get rid of them. They're totally expendable. Now we're getting into prospect pool. Zadorov, just great player. Got actually a decent shot. You know, not the best accuracy, but he could probably definitely get in and low, get some rebounds, things like that to fall for our forwards. For a defensive defenseman, doesn't have those stats just yet, has more of a physical game. But for a left-handed defensive defenseman, he's holding his own in the top 6 role, and this guy is definitely going to be solidified in our top 4 in the future at 21 years old. Either way, we're keeping him. This guy is a guy to keep. Yeah, he's safe for sure. And then Weird Cock, he's bounced around to a couple different teams here, but you know, he's still growing. I've seen him get up to like 85, but with this new roster update, him already being 26, he'll probably stick around 83 and cap off there unless we pop him up to maybe the 4th or 1st line or something, or rather the 2nd or 1st line here. You know, just another journeyman veteran defenseman guy, just on the cusp there. I don't know when his birthday is, but might even turn 27 and totally end his growth by the season beginning. So might be a trade asset. I'm thinking if we are going with a rebuild, he's definitely a guy we need to trade away. If not, he's a great top 6 defenseman. You know, he's a good guy to have out there because he's not going to complain about minutes, and he's going to do his job on both sides of the ice. I don't think there's really a problem with it. If we are going for the playoffs, you know, if we're trying to make a run, I do not mind keeping him. No problem at all. I was just thinking, you know, if we are making a run, eliminate these 2 dudes, get one really good guy, move Zadorov up or something like that, and then sign a free agent to pop in at the top 6. I think that'd be a good idea. You know, maybe pop in another free agent if we don't trade for somebody up here. But, you know, I think in a few easy preseason moves, we could really get this team to a championship position. I feel like we've got the assets. But here's our big question. You know, do we get rid of this guy right now, or do we ride with him? And we have Bernier as well, because we don't have Picard anymore, obviously. So we don't have that growth. He got taken by the free agency, which was Las Vegas. And, you know, we could always re-sign him, but, you know, that's not too fun. Let's let somebody else have him, and it'd be kind of funny. 3 years left isn't awful, but that's a pretty big cap hit for his overall. That's more like a cap hit you would sign somebody at his overall in free agency, not somebody that already plays for you. I feel like, yeah, maybe like 5 mil or maybe even like 4.5 or something would be more appropriate, but I'm a very low ball style offering GM, so I could be totally out of my depth in that sense. So just let me know on that. And then Bernier, I feel like we could definitely trade that contract, but it is 1 year remaining. We could just ride it out. If we're going into the playoffs or something, we could do that. But I think I'd rather trade Bernier just because of that contract with that overall is not good. And at least Varlamov could lead our team through the playoffs. I don't necessarily know if we'd want something more intense to go into the deeper rounds. You definitely always want something better, or your player to get overall better, but, you know, we've won cups with like 85 overalls before. It's just one of those things, you know, you never know. So 86 is definitely not bad, especially with those overall stats. Like, you know, the overall is 86, but the individual stats, that is, aren't too bad. It just looks like his glove side is a little weaker, but everything else like looks decent, and especially like rebound control, it's super, super important. That and agility is very important in the simulation. So I think that would be he would be an okay goalie to keep in. And, you know, maybe that price is fine for those skills. Maybe that's what Colorado was paying for, is those skills. And I think they were. Anybody scratched? Okay, that guy we've definitely had, Barbaro. Yeah, these guys are just others. We've had that guy before. HL, so we got Yost, Tyson. Okay. just kind of looking at this for the first time. Gabriel Bork, he's definitely somebody that we could just keep down here. So, yeah, just help out the young guys. Okay, JT here. Yeah, it looks like we just don't have that bigger prospect pool. It's definitely good to have Yost or Jost. Whoops, I want to go to D here. Yeah, okay. Galenus, we could probably bring it. Yeah, we probably should bring him up. You know what we could do? We could trade Teuton and Boscheman and then bring Galenus up for that top 6 position with Weirchiach. I just say Weirdcock. And then, oh, we could even bring this guy up. So we could bring these 2 guys up to play top 6 minutes, get rid of the 2 old guys, or, one of them, and then keep one scratched or whatever. I don't know. And you see what I mean? Bring these 2 guys up, right? Maybe we sign some guy down here, put somebody down here. Who knows? And then we go back to the NHL. We get rid of Boscheman and Teuton. Just move Zadorov up here and maybe put, I don't know, Galenus up here. And, we can move around the bottom 4 here, but, we could even move these guys around and put somebody up to the top. But, it's all about balancing the offense with the defense and having, the first and second line being supported by the best defenders out back. So that's kind of my big plan. And, so just to recap, we're kind of trying to figure out, are we going to be a rebuilding team? 100%. We get rid of Duchene. We get rid of Lanny. We get rid of Jakub. Well, maybe not Yakupov. He is younger. We get rid of all these dudes we don't need. Absolutely. Just basically everyone above 23 years old. That includes Duchene. Keep somebody like McKinnon as the cornerstone. Because we have 3 years to rebuild with this dude. As long as we keep the first line with somebody who can shoot like Yakupov, so McKinnon's still getting a plus or something like that, so he's growing. That's the biggest deal. But if not, we can trade everybody. Who cares? But I just think somebody like McKinnon doesn't just show up. You don't just draft that guy by accident. So it's one of those things we got to kind of decide. Or this option, which I'm kind of a little more in favor of, transforming this team into a year 1 contender. Maybe not Stanley Cup playoff, but most definitely like 2nd or 3rd round. Somebody who can get in there and play old school Colorado style hockey. And me being a Wings fan, I know what it's like to be on the receiving end. A lot of those, a lot of dirty hits. That's what Fight Night was about. Go watch that video. That's a great, oh my God, Darren McCart. That's why I have a Darren McCarty jersey. Just that image, him over Claude Lemieux. Insane. Amazing. Like and subscribe if you agree. One of the craziest points in professional sports, I feel like. What a great rivalry. And now I'm the GM of the bad guys in my end. Whatever team you were going for at the time, it was a great time to be a hockey fan for sure. But it'd be awesome to get the Avalanche back to that. Back to that. Great scorers up front and just some rock hard hits all around. A ton of hitters down here. Maybe even some guys like Landeskog would be great. He does some great body checking, physical play, things of that nature. Even Duchene a lot of the times will get in the dirty areas. McKinnon does have that 2-way game, but I've seen him a lot. He gets out of those areas as he has the puck. He's great. He takes the puck away. He's got great hands, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of cool ideas that I have in my head for this team. And I feel like just going with this team, trying to build off of it would be really cool. And if we crash and burn, we can just keep going and try to rebuild it. Who knows, but I think we can definitely make the playoffs year 1 if we balance out these young guns with some leadership out here, because I think that is pretty important in this game. So just to go over the whole idea of it, I dropped all these guys that went to the Golden Knights. I dropped them to free agency. So we do have some people to pick, but look at our cap space right now. It's in the bottom left here. $1.075 million. Now, we can definitely trade away some people right away to make some room. But, you know, who are we going for? Are we trying to get... I think maybe a top-line winger would be really good. You know, we could sign a Jágr right wing, have him on that first line, and that could be a very dominant first line. We could also go with somebody like Neil, but that's a lot of money for 1 year, you know. And, you know, we could offer higher amounts. Like you know, if we offered him how many years? Yeah, if he goes up to like 3 years, he still wants a ton of money. That's kind of the problem. James Neal would be pretty good, but I think Jágr as like a sniper would be nice to pair on that line with Landeskog and McKinnon, just as like that power forward playmaker idea with the sniper. So that might be cool. So that's just something to keep in mind. And, you know, just for a year. And then when somebody grows, or if Yakupov gets up to like an 85, 86 maybe, with that line with Duchene, you know, Jágr retires, bring him up. You know, we sign somebody else in free agency maybe, or bring up our, you know, other sniper, other playmaker, anything like that. We got a decent amount of prospects playing in the NHL. I think there's like 3 or 4 on the NHL roster of forwards. So just one of those things. I think that would probably be the most fun idea, just because it's very challenging. We got to work with what we've got. I think the Colorado Avalanche just had a down year. I think they're a good team. They just need some kind of shakeup. They need like somebody weird to come in and help them out. I think they should sign Jágr in real life. I think that'd be awesome. But who knows, you know. I don't watch a ton of their hockey, you know, so... But we'll get into it. And I think that's really all we need to see at this point. Just in case, I'll go ahead and put our scouting assignment in there. But I think next episode we'll just, you know, and I'll do the WHL because Nolan Patrick will be in here, won't he? Let's just do a month for each of these CHLs. Yeah, he's up there. Oh, so is Cody Glass and Rasmussen, which is the Wings dude. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a ton of needs. Obviously, this team has. That's no problem at all. I think we can definitely work with it, and we can attempt to just. I think we can just go for it first year. Like, I know the Central Division is very difficult. Like, look at all these teams. You know, the Blackhawks are going to be in the talks, even with those terrible contracts for Kane and Taves. They're going to be in talks. I think I did move Sharp to them as well, just to kind of update it. I did all the like major free agency moves. So, you know, Dallas has a bunch of really nice new players like Radulov and things like that. Chicago's got all their current players, I think. But, you know, if we see something, we'll figure it out. But, I mean, look at all these teams. First of all, the top 3, Dallas with the Preds, Dallas, and the Blackhawks. The Wild are always, you know, that team that can just go on a huge binge of point-getting games because they're tough to play against. They got a lot of skill, and they have some good defensive might. And then, you know, it's really just like us fighting the Wild and the Jets and maybe knocking off somebody like the Blackhawks. Hopefully they can just get cap starved and, you know, fall off. And then we can really fight for that top 3 spot. But I don't think we can, not with this current team, we can't knock off any of those even top 4 teams. We got to get a couple key role players, and we got to build on our lines. It can't, you know, if we're doing a rebuild, we're rebuilding. But if we're going for the playoffs, we got to work on veteran depth, because that's the biggest thing. Poise is so big. You need to work with it in the beginning all the way to the end of the season. And in the playoff matches, it's incredibly difficult. So that's my 2 cents. I know I've been gone for a long time. I'm going to make videos every single day for as long as possible. We're going to go into NHL 18 super strong. We're going to be the biggest NHL channel on YouTube. And we're going to be hanging out with Johnny Superb Man. And everybody's going to be happy. We're going to just do it. I've got a ton of ideas. Stick around all week for a ton of announcements. There's some great updates coming. One day I might just upload a big video, just HUT games and me talking about the future of this channel with some weird graphics and things like that. But I want you guys to know, have confidence in me. Life got in the way for a while, and it was all great stuff. Don't worry, nothing bad happened. Everything amazing happened in the last 8 months. But we're getting back to it, and we're going to do this even bigger than ever, and you guys are going to help out so much, and it's going to be awesome. People are already commenting on the videos, and it's just insane to know you guys are sticking around for this long. Insane. You guys are great. But thank you for watching this far into the video. Make sure to like and subscribe because we're uploading every single day. You're going to keep track of this GM mode because we're going far and we're making these guys a dynasty team in Colorado. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time out on the ice.